New World's crafting is ocean-wide, but puddle-deep. But that may not be a bad thing. At a glance, the crafting system in New World is daunting. This video is not a deep dive on crafting, this is an analysis of the general system. There are currently 7 different crafting skills to go through. Supporting this are 5 refining skills that are in turn fed by 4 gathering skills. Technically, there is a 5th type of gathering for random stuff, but there is no skill associated with these. Sounds complicated, right? When you look at the process and how it moves down the chain, it's quite a simple system. As stated, crafting is broken into 3 phases in New World: production, refining, and gathering. Production skills are what create items you use in the end. This is what most people will recognize as crafting in an MMO. In a nutshell, we have the following. The most well-known is probably weaponsmithing, and it's straightforward. You make melee weapons and shields. There's nothing shocking here. Armoring, surprise, lets you create armor. You can make all variants of armor with this skill, from heavy to light. Cooking lets you create consumables for buffs and restoration purposes. There's an interesting play on the buff system here in that there are some foods that boost crafting. Engineering is where you make muskets, bows, spears, gathering tools, and the like. Generally, safe to think of as the ranged weapons and tool skill. Jewel crafting allows you to make rings, amulets, and earrings. Generally, what we would think of as accessory slots on other games can be crafted here. In New World, they're referred to as trinkets. Furnishing lets you craft storage, trophies, and furniture for player-controlled housing. As some of these items grant you a bonus, it's not as easily discounted as a straight cosmetic item. Finally, Arcana lets you craft potions, magical weapons such as staves and gauntlets, and weapon coatings which give you buffs. So, as mentioned, crafting is fed by refining, or trading. Most people are going to gather and refine their own materials though, at least early on. Refining takes raw materials and prepares them for the production stage. This is common across most MMOs and should be familiar for most people. There's a bit of a web of support here where one gathering skill can support multiple crafting types. As a list, we have smelting, weaving, leatherworking, woodworking, and stonecutting. In New World, we have smelting, weaving, and leatherworking supporting armor crafting. Smelting and woodworking generally support engineering as well, and weaponsmithing. Jewel crafting pulls primarily from stonecutting, while furnishing pulls support from many different abilities. Finally, the chain completes with gathering, which fuels refining. Auctions and trade will also fuel refining to some degree, but at its core, someone somewhere gathered the required materials. Gathering encompasses mining, skinning, logging, harvesting, and fishing. What they do is generally obvious from their titles. There are no surprises here. Though there is the addition of random found objects that are just collected without an associated skill. Things like flint, nuts, and saltpeter fall into this realm. Crafting process. So, this is where the New World process becomes puddle deep. The crafting process is certainly nothing special. It works. It tends to feel good, even if it's a bit hollow. First, we need to know what we want to make, roughly, and gather or buy the materials. Next, we refine these materials at the appropriate station. One consideration here is that when refining, the higher your refining skill, the better your yield. Finally, we create the desired item at the appropriate station, remembering to add any azoth or extra materials to the process. That's it. There's nothing outlandish here, and no exceedingly complex material chains to work through. So, we have a general idea what the crafting chain is in New World, and how it's applied. There are some general pros and cons to consider that play into this as well. Refining is almost instant compared to other MMOs, where each ingot at a forge, for instance, has a time to create. In New World, your stack is nearly instantly refined. That's a great feature. Simplicity can be a strength. For those that want to just play the main game, and see crafting as a supporting factor to this, the simpler crafting system comes out as a strength. The whole process is streamlined and can let you get back into the action quickly if desired. Finally, crafting remains an option, but not yet a requirement, so long as there is the option to buy materials from the crafting process in some way. Not everyone will want to craft. Some people may want to just PvP or work on PvE grinds, and they're able to do that with this system. So, moving on to the cons. For some people, simplicity is a bad thing. Simplicity can take away from people that like a deep crafting experience. Some games have you craft chains of components, for instance, each with specific requirements to be able to craft some item. While New World does not appear to have this at this point, It's not to say that it will not, ever. Early game crafted weapons generally will not be as good as looted weapons due to the speed of leveling versus crafting and the availability of weapons while questing. This will level out sort of midway through the leveling process though, as was shown in the closed and open betas. That said, the pros work out to be more than the cons here. We have some miscellaneous considerations to go through. Gathering takes significant time. A large portion of my alpha and beta experience were spent just gathering materials. Leveling gathering skills will occur naturally, and, in some cases, to advance your crafting skills, you will have to drill down into a gathering skill to unlock the next tier of materials. Because of this grind requirement, there may even be enough surplus generated to add to the materials inside of the auction system. Even in the beta, beginner materials sold cheaply, so grinding early level crafting may be cheap. However, this is a double-edged sword. If you don't spend time leveling your gathering skills, you'll be relying on those that have. While this can drive the economy, it'll be interesting to see how it plays out in the first few weeks of actual gameplay. Traditional MMOs go through a U-shaped curve of crafting costs and materials as they age. To start, everyone tries to get as much as they can for early materials, then the market gets flooded and prices go down. But, as that same community ages, and people stop gathering low-level materials, it cuts the supply. Adding to this, around the same time people start generating alts, and as one does, leveling them all around. Because of the new need for low-level materials, the lower supply for them, and the bankrolls of main characters funneling into alternate ones, we see prices start to rise again. That said, I'm not sure if New World will follow the same path, or at least not as strictly as other games. As it is, we have a monolithic character that can do everything. There are seemingly no limits on the character in terms of crafting trees or weapon choices. This may, in fact, limit the market for such materials. Adding to this that some materials are in multiple zones, in their higher and lower level forms, we have a bit of a different playing field. Time will tell here, and all we can do is observe. So, all in all, we have a robust set of crafting endpoints to funnel resources into. That said, it's about as complex as it gets. There are some minor intricacies in the crafting system, in how we add buffs or a chance to get better bonuses with Ace Off, but that's pretty much it. Gather the stuff, refine where necessary, and make a thing. And that's fine. Wow! You got a small megalodon, and a fish sword? I'm sorry, what? I'm sorry, what? A fish sword.
Yeah, you can strap it.
No, I want to use this. Please God equip this. No! No! This is bullshit. I'm done. I'm done fishing forever. Hey, thanks for watching. Dogthul and I really appreciate you stopping by to learn a little bit more about New World's crafting. I'm going to invite you to go ahead and go down on the channel, Giggity, and click the follow button. Dogthul would surely appreciate it if you went down on this channel.